What's up, everybody? Welcome to another show, Jammin with J Money, man. We back. It's Thursday, trying to get to some cheddar, man. We just got one game today, but we still here. We'll try to break down the game, maybe give a little quick preview to the games tomorrow, and obviously we're gonna recap the games yesterday. I'm J Money. That's my guy Jordan Sharp. And that's my guy Junior Brown. Make sure y'all go to SBR Picks /NBA as well to check out all the articles we have. Sportsreview.com and line shop as well for the best odds, man. What's up, Junior Brown? Everything good with you, brother?
Yeah. Hit my play. Clippers did what I thought they would do. I think the series is done in five. When the Clippers are locked in on defense, Denver has no chance. When the Clippers are locked in on defense, they're a contender. And when Kawhi plays like Kawhi, even more so. Obviously, I didn't like the -8 spread, but they ended up doing, like I said, what I thought they would do. And in terms of the Raptors and the Celtics, that was an epic game, double OT. I mean, listen, as far as the Raptors go, I just think that you shouldn't underestimate them. The Celtics might be more talented, but the Raptors ain't scared of the Celtics, and they don't have any reason to be because they're the defending champions and the Celtics ain't. So Boston probably wins in Game 7, but at least the Raptors are going down swinging and defending their title like a champion is supposed to. What do you guys think about yesterday? How was your guys' day?
What's up, Jordan?
What's good? Yeah, I ended up 0-1 on the day. I missed my over on the first half of that Clippers-Denver game simply because of the aforementioned Clippers stepping on necks in that first quarter especially. I think Denver had like 1 point through the first 6 minutes of that game or something crazy like that. I mean, you're not going to win any overs in that, so chalk that up on the L. They pretty much did what Junior expected to do yesterday, which is a good call by him on that one. In the other game, though, the much more one we probably need to talk about more. I don't know if that's the best game I've seen all season, but it's probably up there, including all the regular season games and the seeding games and the playoff games we've seen before. Toronto got key contributions last night from the guys they needed it, except for Spicy P, of course, but OG stepped up. Kyle Lowry obviously had a huge game. Fred VanVleet pretty much carried them at times throughout that one. But a hell of a lot of fun to watch that one last night going to double OT, and we get what we wanted. We said yesterday we wanted a Game 7. We root for Toronto. We get what we asked for. So maybe we'll get a chance to talk about that game a little bit as well. But what about you, James?
Yeah, I'm glad that we got a Game 7. As a basketball fan, I'll be honest with you guys, it's hard to watch the NBA right now. Obviously with the whole refs with the blown call, I'm a realist. I'm one of those guys that where even if I am a fan for a team, I'm one that has to say, oh look, hey, I mean maybe there wasn't the foul calls late in the game, so I'm just one of those guys that where even if I am a fan for a team, I'm a realist. Hey, everybody knows that Kemba Walker got fouled there. That's the only thing I can say is Raptors fans could at least admit, hey, Kemba Walker got fouled there. The game probably shouldn't have went to overtime. Even though the Raptors did sticking to it, you can never count out the heart of the champion. Come on, guys. We at least got to say the Raptors can't stick with the Celtics unless they're getting help from the refs. That's the only thing I got to say. It's really tough to be a fan of the NBA. I'll tell you this, guys. But, hey, the Raptors get the job done in double overtime, missed off the under as well. So I know underback is real. It's real tough. But, I mean, I guarantee you, NBA, the refs going to look at their last report. Kemba Walker got fouled by both guys, man. Be serious, man. That's the only thing I'm saying. But if the Celtics would have won and not covered, I mean, I'd rather see a Game 7 than that anyway. But the Raptors get the job done. 125, 122. Like you say, Spicy P didn't show up once again. And Anunoby, he had 13 points. They pretty much filling him into the 5. Ibaka is really injured here. Gasol only played 15 minutes. Fred VanVleet was the main one that obviously carried them. Kyle Lowry as well with the flopping all over the place. There's no way. I don't have an ounce of respect for in my body for Kyle Lowry.
By the way, Jay,
the way that he throws himself all over, that's not real basketball. I'm a realist, man. I'm a fan of real basketball. There's no way in hell that's real basketball. You just throw the ball up, and the fact that he goes to the refs talking about this shit like after play after play.
Jay,
Honestly, I could never watch a Raptors game, a Toronto game again. I could never be a fan of this team. And all the Raptors fans, you might as well delete me on Twitter now because I'm talking heavy shit, man. I already had to block a person or say I can't stand this team. I can't stand watching this team. It's tough for the NBA, man.
Jay, how could you say that and not mention Marcus Smart? Is Marcus Smart? Marcus Smart is flopping.
He did have a huge.
Lowry is the worst flopper in the league.
Then Marcus Smart's number 2 because he's not flopping less.
Smart is a flopper as well.
Bro, in the last game, Jay, I don't mean to interrupt you.
that I rewinded it 3 times. It's 3 times in the game, in one game, that I had to rewind something. So yeah, maybe Marcus Smart in the fourth quarter, but Kyle Lowry 3 times in one game. Every single game, I can find at least 2 things for Lowry. The Clippers,
Jay, hold on.
Hey, we don't have time, bro. And then the Clippers, 96. The Clippers go ahead and get it done over them, 96-85. They get the job done there. Game went way under. Junior, we do have time, so say what you got to say. But Lowry,
at the end of the game,
this is a personal opinion.
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, Lowry is probably one of the biggest floppers in NBA history. But and Stan Van Gundy was doing the opposite of what you're doing. Stan Van Gundy was praising Lowry for, not in the last game, but the last game that he was commentating, praising Lowry for flopping, but criticizing Marcus Smart. If people are going to criticize Lowry or Smart, you got to criticize both. The game ended yesterday by Smart literally jumping into Marc Gasol's knees and flailing on the ground. The last game, on a fast break, he ran into a dude that didn't even have the ball and went flying out of bounds. He's a clown, bro. He's no different than Kyle Lowry. I'm sorry. He's doing the exact same shit as Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry's like that savvy veteran, but Marcus Smart like accentuates.
At least Kyle Lowry's an all-star. What's Marcus Smart? Marcus Smart is no all-star. I tell you that.
Veteran. You have to appreciate, like, coming from someone who's athletic playing basketball. Kyle Lowry's not the most athletic guy. He's got to find other ways to contribute to the game, and being a smart, playing that card with the refs and doing the, you call it flopping, I call it being savvy. We can do this from either side of the card here. I understand it sucks to watch sometimes because he does it all the time, but it's effective. So, I mean, like, you could argue it's not fun to watch and everything, but, I mean, they won the game. Like, that's the end of the story.
I'm just saying this, me as an NBA fan, guys. It's just my opinion. It's like I say, man, it's just my opinion. Kyle, like, it's one of those things where I can rewind it. It's 3 times in the first half where I can rewind something. I stopped watching the game. Honestly, I mean, I really don't. They got the job done, man. It's the only thing that matters. But as a real basketball fan, I guarantee you guys, I'm not the only one. I just like to see basketball. So whether it's Marcus Smart, or I'm one of those guys that where Kyle Lowry does it every play, and then Marcus Smart does it one play. Yeah, okay, he does it one time. He did it 1 or 2 times a game. Lowry does it at least 5 times a game. That's the only thing I have to say about it.
I'm not trying to argue with you, bro.
When the announcers going too much in this, bro. But
but I'm just trying to say, I'm not trying to argue with you, but there's literally YouTube compilations of Marcus Smart's flopping. That's all I'm saying. At least Kyle Lowry's an all-star. Marcus Smart ain't no goddamn all-star. He's an all-defensive player and a master flopper. That's all I'm saying.
Smart over Lowry any day. It's just my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion. Anything you had to say about the Clippers game, Jordan? They end up getting it done 96-85.
Yeah, I'm not trying to change the subject at all because I think this is a great discussion. But I do think I want to ask what you guys think about MPJ's comments after the game last night about how he was basically like, "Coach has to get me the ball." It's like I was just like, I was baffled by that comment. I kind of wanted to see what you two had to think about that because this dude comes in, doesn't really contribute all year, and then has a few good bubble games and everything, and thinks he's like the franchise player. It just really baffles me. Like, and I think John Hollinger tweeted about this. He was like, the injuries weren't the only concern with this kid, and I was just kind of interested to see if you think that's going to mess with their chemistry here tomorrow.
Jay, you want to answer that, or should I? I don't know.
Go ahead, Junior.
If he wants the ball more, he should learn to play defense. When he's out there on the floor, teams are going after him. Now, he does have a point that he should get the ball more because he's a bucket. But as a rookie, it's probably not your place to say that in public. You should probably say that behind closed doors, one-on-one to your coach. I think it's pretty disrespectful, to be honest. He got to do more in the league to be able to say that in public, in my opinion.
You got to get like a pedigree before you start saying that stuff in the media.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, what he said was pretty much nobody else wanted to say it. It's pretty much Jokic and Murray. He's right. He can't say it to the media, but
wrong,
he is right. And it's one of those things to where if he did go and say to somebody else, they probably wouldn't listen to him. He is pretty much a rookie. I mean, he is probably the third scoring option on there right now. So I can't say that. He's saying he wants the ball more. Obviously, he looked frustrated. It's not going to bode well for his team. They probably done, but I mean, that doesn't really change anything. But if you're going to be a young bull, you got to speak up, man. You can't just sit back and be quiet at some point. So, I mean, I know a lot of people didn't agree with it, but I don't see any problem with it. I mean, he still gave him credit. He's just saying, hey, maybe we got to give him a little something else, a new look. And he's right. Mike Malone doesn't make any adjustments. It's pretty much Murray and Jokic pick and roll. If those two are having a bad game or one of them have a bad game, they're pretty much going to get blown out. What did you think about the comments, Jordan?
I mean, like I said, I don't think he's wrong by any means, but it's just a little. My thing with MPJ is like it's like when you watch him on the court, he's either like extremely tantalizing and looks like a potential elite offensive talent, or he looks like like an idiot sometimes. Either he's off the court, he's saying something, or a bonehead play he likes to make. He does kind of. He seems like one of those players that hasn't quite, maybe gotten over himself and realized he's in a league with better players now, and he's got to kind of act like it. But no, I don't think he's wrong. I think they do need to run more sets with him. That being said, yeah, it's just it kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, just to kind of confirm some of the suspicions I've had about him.
What's the suspicions?
Like he's full of himself, basically.
But Jordan, in his defense, though. He was the number one player in his class until he got hurt, and people kind of just forgot about him. So I'm not saying he's right, but it's not like in his mind he's not less talented than he was before. You feel what I'm trying to say? Like, no, so sure. He's always been told he's the man up until recently. So there's got to be some of that in play. You know what I mean?
If I was that talented, I would absolutely have his mindset. So I don't. It's not that, like I said, it's not that I'm disagreeing with him. It's just like like if you're potentially be that good, yeah, you're gonna be cocky, like obviously. But I mean, it's just there's also there's a place for rookies in this league. That's why they still make them carry princess backpacks and stuff. I mean, like you can't just come out and say that stuff in the media.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the veterans on the team got to say to him.
Yeah, Paul Millsap ain't saying nothing. Shit, he giving him more. He giving more production than some of the veterans. So my thing is pretty much. I mean, as a team, they got to come out there and play. But it was kind of something towards the coach to me, because we know that Mike Malone don't really make a lot of adjustments, and it's pretty much, hey, it's either this shit's gonna work or it's not. So they was down 3-1 versus the Jazz, but the Jazz weren't that good of an offensive team. They didn't have a whole lot of offensive weapons. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with this one. But yeah, I definitely saw that, and I mean, there's different ways you could feel about it, honestly. I mean, they lost, so it doesn't really matter. Probably gonna lose in this game too. So, but let's get into today's game, man. We got the Lakers versus the Rockets. Lakers opened up at 5.5, down to 5. I mean, it's people that's gonna believe the Rockets pretty much every game, obviously because of their 3-point shooting. Their 3-point shooting get high, they can win any game. But obviously, as we saw last game, even without Danuel House Jr., Danuel House Jr. seemed like he had to sneak a little girl into his room or something, man. So that's why we found out the inside info. Reason why he was out with personal reasons, because we knew it wasn't for COVID. So this man snuck a girl into his room, man, and now LeBron didn't call. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, this shit happened, man. It's tough to respect the NBA these days, man. LeBron on the hotline damn near every day, talking about shit. What's wrong? Hey, this going on? Hey, I saw this dude. Woo woo woo. Hey, what's called when it got some chicken wings? House, I seen the girl in there because I paid her to go in there, so she told me. So I'm telling y'all, man, this be some crazy shit going on. Total open up at 220.5, down to 218 here. Jordan, what you think about this one, my guy?
I got to play on this game in the first quarter. I'm in the mindset of kind of what LeBron James is going to do tonight, and he showed kind of that mindset in Game 3, and I think we see it again here, because there's a big difference between being up 3-1 and being up 2-2, especially when it does appear that the Clippers are going to wipe out Denver tomorrow. So you have to think the Lakers and LeBron and pretty much everybody are in the mindset of we have to step on the necks early, like the Clippers did last night. And the Lakers have been the best so far, the best first quarter offense in the playoffs in the bubble so far, averaging over 120 points per 100 possessions. And in this series, they're averaging 137 points per 100 possessions in the first quarter. Obviously, small sample through 3 games, but I don't think the Rockets defense has shown that they can come out at the very beginning of the game. They seem like they need to get into it a little bit of a rhythm first, defensively and offensively, before they really lock in. I think the Lakers look at this as saying, we really need to make this a short series. We cannot afford to be tied again, like we were the first after 2 games. So I think they come out here. I got the Lakers -1 first quarter.
Got you, got you. My article play was actually the opposite of that. I did like the Rockets plus the 1.5 for the first quarter. The Lakers are 6-9 in the first quarter in the last 15 games, and the Rockets have won the first quarter, two of these three games for them. So I think if the Rockets have any chance in this game, I feel like if you like Lakers. Well, first quarter, you definitely like them full game as well. I'm not betting against the Lakers full game, but I do feel like if there's any spot for the Rockets here down 2-1, if they do want to try to tie this series up, they got to come out and win the first quarter like they've had two out of these three games. After that, it could get ugly for them. You saw them last game, even without House, they kept it close for three straight quarters. What you got on this one, Junior?
Yeah, I don't have a look on this game, honestly. I just kind of want to think about it a little bit more. My lean would be plus the points with the Rockets for just one simple reason. In the last couple of games, well, in every game, it's kind of like what Miami was doing in Milwaukee. In every single game, the pace is getting slower and slower. The last game was played at a pace of like 90 possessions, which if you're the Rockets, that's not enough possessions not to beat a team like the Lakers. The Lakers are fine playing at that pace. LeBron is absolutely fine playing at that pace right now. And honestly, so is Anthony Davis, the way that he plays. You know what I'm saying? So that favors the Lakers. It favors Rondo. It favors all of their players. Whereas the Rockets, because of the pace, they're not getting up enough shots. They had 81 shots in the last game. They only took 33s. If you average 45 3-point attempts a game, that's the thing that separates you from every single team in the league, the amount of threes that you take and make, right? So I just think that that's a problem that they're having right now is that they're not getting up enough shots. Russell Westbrook is their leading shot taker in the series, which is another problem because most of his shots are twos. We don't want to get into the whole math thing, but Jordan, you know this very well. Essentially, Westbrook is going to have to shoot somewhere like 53 to 55% to make up for the fact that he doesn't take threes, right? Because the average three-point shooter is shooting at like 35%, an average two-point shooter will have to shoot like 53% to match that if you want to just take the math and even it up, right? Westbrook is taking so many two-point shots and he's shooting under 50% that I think it's just hurting them overall because it's taking away three-point opportunities from other guys. And I just think that at the same time, not only do they have to play faster, I think in the second and third quarters, they should stagger the minutes between Westbrook and Harden, to be honest with you. Keep them off the floor at the same time. Like you start them together and you end the game with them together, but in between that, stagger their minutes so that Westbrook is not taking away shots from Harden. Because I just feel like if Westbrook is going to take the most shots for the Rockets in this series, there's no chance that they're winning the series, in my opinion.
Got you. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, they've been starting to double team Harden, so he has to get the ball out. That's the reason why Westbrook. And so Westbrook got started off with a three the last game. They need to get him high. Obviously, after a terrible game, a guy like him, you need to get his confidence going. If Westbrook does have his confidence and is making shots, I do think that the Rockets like a different team. It's when he starts making all his mistakes and turnovers and start, playing too fast out there. But when Westbrook's playing at his best, like you say, they can stagger their minutes to have Westbrook run the show. Then Harden run the show. The problem is when Harden's getting double teamed, he needs somebody to help him out there. And House not having them out there, I really feel like that's an underrated player out there because that was their sixth man coming off the bench. Covington is probable in this one, but that loss of House, I really think they would have won the last game if they had House in there. You see the way how close it was. Lakers not until the fourth quarter when they shut the Rockets down, and pretty much pulled away. I think the Rockets, they really miss House here, man. I really been doing a lot of research to see if he's possibly going to play. They still don't know. He's still listed officially as out, but I know they were saying that they was trying to get it, reverse or whatever. He said he hadn't did any wrongdoing. He probably was like, man, it was just a quickie anyway, man. It was only like 2 minutes, only last 2-3 minutes anyway. That shit didn't count, but you never know. Jordan, what you think? How you think that Danuel House impacts this game? You think, let's say if he was in here, would you think the Rockets look a lot different?
Yeah, because if he is, then you have multiple wing defenders that are elite, and now that he's down one. Eric Gordon is a good defender still, but he's not that kind of on-ball defender that he used to be earlier in his career before he was injured a lot. And that leaves really, just like Covington basically for them in that aspect of guys that can guard it on the wing pretty well. So, it's a huge loss for them. I want to touch on something Junior just said, just because I don't want to dive too much into analytics, but I had to pull up Russell Westbrook's shot dashboard real quick. And it looks like he's shooting like 35% of his shots as just pull-ups, just from him, like one couple dribbles, making a play and pulling up. And almost all of those have been twos. He really needs to, if he's going to shoot that many pull-ups, he's probably got to, like Junior said, bring it out beyond the three-point line, or he's got to attack the basket because he's been really playing pretty well, and his field goal percentage about 55%, less than 10 feet so far through the playoffs. So, I mean, the formula's there. It's if you're going to pull up, you do it behind the three-point line at the very least. If you're not making them, then change the direction of overall that. But I do think House, to answer your question, Jay, I think it's a bigger deal than what I think some people are letting on for sure. I think he's definitely an underrated defender for this team. I wouldn't be surprised, though, to see the Rockets kind of push the pace here. It would be counterproductive maybe if you're trying to bet the over, but the steam going on the under is probably a pretty clear indication that people think this is going to be a more defensive style of game. But like Junior said, that probably plays right into the hands of the Lakers if it's also a slower pace.
Got you. Yeah, and I know with House down, it's like, okay, so Ben McLemore going to have to step up. Him and Austin Rivers. Nope, neither one of them did that. I mean, shit, both of them guys didn't have – they had 0 points, man. They both played 10 minutes, 0 for 2 out there, and it seemed like once they missed a couple of shots, that D'Antoni was like, nope, get your ass out of there, and then just had to play Jeff Green the whole way pretty much. So it's just – they was already a thin bench. Now they already just going to Jeff Green. They're gonna need McLemore to step up. Whether you're gonna have to bring him the first one out the bench, get him warmed up, start him, something, man. But they definitely gonna need production out of McLemore or Rivers off the bench, especially with House out. So it's gonna be a real interesting matchup. They already small, so I mean the Lakers starting to get what they want now. It'll be interesting to see if they can put their foot on their neck tonight. I know a lot of people like their out there like the Lakers -5 of what they've been seeing. Be interesting to see if the Rockets can try to come back and steal one. I'm out here in game 4. It's a real pivotal game. Like I said, you're going to get the Rockets' best shot, even though they're missing House. You are definitely going to get their best shot tonight to try to even this series up. And if not, then obviously they probably going to go ahead and pack it up. James Harden looking towards the strip clubs. Hey, which one we hitting first? He probably ain't even leaving Florida before he hit a strip club. I guarantee you, boy. Straight to the strip club, baby. And after we leave this one, we're going to the next one. You dig gonna say, hey, yo, House. We good now, baby. Ain't nobody hiding. What you think about this one, Junior? Any latest remarks on this game?
Yeah, I just think that the Rockets have no chance if they don't put up at least 45 threes a game, which is their MO. What's the point of running this system to get to the playoffs? And, for example, the Lakers shoot 33s a game. In game 3, both teams shot 33s. So you're not playing to your strengths. If you're the Rockets, you get this far, and then you start playing the way the Lakers want to play. You're playing at the Lakers' pace, and you're taking the same amount of threes as the Lakers. You're not going to win. It's not possible. Like, the math is just super simple. Sometimes we get complicated with these explanations, but the Rockets are not doing what it takes to win right now. And the Lakers, on top of that, are locked in on defense. I just think that it's not impossible for Houston to turn it around. They've led late, you know what I'm saying? They led late in the last game. They kind of just let it slip away. But I really strongly believe, though, that they should think about staggering their minutes because I mentioned in the last game, or if not stagger their minutes, let Russell Westbrook be the primary ball handler so they can't just blitz James Harden the way they blitz him. Like, basically, as soon as he crosses half court, they're just sending another guy at him. You know what I'm saying? And then he's giving up the ball, which is what he's supposed to do. But maybe not have him have the ball that early and have him come off a screen or two. Maybe just try playing normal basketball like everybody else does. See if that works. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird that they just don't try something else.
Got you. Yeah, and I mean they're gonna have to tonight. Like I say, down 2-1. Both obviously, I mean, I'm not gonna say the Lakers will probably still try to make some adjustments, but the Rockets, this is gonna be a main game for them to see. I mean, like in my opinion, we're really gonna see in the first quarter if the Rockets came to play tonight. That's why it's either them boys they have to start off early if they want to have any chance. Y'all know how it is. If they want any chance to win this game, I mean, down 2-1, you got to start off early. If you don't, and the way the Lakers are playing with confidence and playing defense, it's going to be over pretty early. So if my guy Jordan does hit that Lakers first quarter, you might want to try to look at them in the with an in-play. If they come out and got the lead after the first quarter, you might want to give them an in-play because in my opinion, that indicates that Houston didn't make the right adjustments because, like I say, if they want to win, they got to come out here and win this first quarter, probably the first half as well, man. We saw them do it the last game. They just couldn't get it done for 4 quarters. That 4 quarter was absolutely through 3 quarters, they had the lead. So, and this is even without House, and that's a bit scary, don't you you think, Jordan, that even with Danuel House, they still played the Lakers damn good for three quarters? I was surprised because when I saw House out, I had Houston +5. I said, man, there's probably no way in hell we're going to catch it. So watching the game, I'm actually like, damn, we got a good chance. And in fourth quarter, that's when it really showed. Obviously, Rivers are back. If the McLemore and Rivers had just like 5 more points, 5 period, that we would have been good. But both of them boys would have goose egg. Jordan, it had to surprise you that they were close in the game for 3 quarters without House.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I definitely, when I was watching that game, definitely wish I would have put it on Houston first half and not the full game. But yeah, no, I mean, that right around that middle of that third quarter, you're right, that it really just switched. Like the Lakers defense kind of just turned on. The Houston hit a couple shots, if I remember, early in that third quarter, and then it was pretty much over from that. And then when they held them to what was it? Let me go back here. 38 points in the second half of that game. Yeah. So, I mean, you're right. No, you're right from the standpoint. And I kind of like that we're going opposite of this game in the first quarter, because you're right. Like, Houston's really their only chance is to come out and get up, 6-8 points early in the game, and then try to really run the ball and try to get out into passing lanes and force the Lakers to play their style of basketball. Because if the Lakers put the foot down on this one early, it could get ugly very, very fast, because the Lakers have had trouble guarding, but if Russell Westbrook isn't making those outside shots and they're able to double team Harden, it's gonna be over real quick. But that being said, I think this is gonna be a close one to the end. Game 3 was just like that until maybe the last 6-8 minutes of that game. I think we probably see something similar tonight.
Got you. Any closing remarks on this one, Junior? Any lean on the total?
No lean on the total. Rockets got to play faster, get up more threes, or this is done in 5.
Got you. So maybe a little lean to the over there for my guy, Junior. What you think, Jordan? What's your official play and any lean on the total, my guy?
I got Lakers -1 first quarter. I think if you gave me a free play on this one, I think it might. I think I could do the over, but I think I'd probably need it to tick down a little bit here. So 218. If we get down to 217 or something like that, and Houston comes out and starts running and gunning a little bit more, we could get the over here. But I'm probably not going to touch it.
Got you. Real quick. Any quick looks till tomorrow, guys? Junior. Any Denver, the Clippers favored by 8 tomorrow, and Toronto 2.5-point dogs tomorrow. Any quick looks for tomorrow?
Honestly, I hated taking the Clippers -8 yesterday, and I really just bet it because of the angle. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know how much I trust the Clippers in a back-to-back situation, man. I really don't. I don't know. I got to think about that a little bit more and see if I can find some kind of an angle, because I'm not laying 8 points again. I can tell you that. As for the Celtics and the Raptors, +2.5 might be interesting, because I just think all of these games are going to be close. If I could get 3.5, maybe. But I again, in that game, I just don't really see an advantage. If the Celtics played at their best, they'll win the game. If Pascal Siakam shows up, the Raptors could stay in it. So I know saying Pascal Siakam show up sounds really stupid at this point, but he had 23 and 10 in one game. If he does that again, and that was a game that the Raptors actually won by 7 points. So he shows up, they could be in it. I kind of just prefer to stay away at that game. My action tomorrow is most likely going to be on the Clippers and the Nuggets. I just try to find an angle before I invest any money in that.
Got you. Will definitely be interesting to see who the refs are. Definitely. As I tell you guys, the past 3 days, and each day they come into play as well. I'm checking the refs before the refs mean a lot in these games, man. Jordan, any looks to tomorrow?
I think I kind of like both the favorites tomorrow. That seems a little square at this point, so definitely going to wait and see how I feel tomorrow. But for initial reaction, I think the favorites are. Junior's right though. 2.5 is a little bit much. It seems like that's ticked up a little bit from where it opened at 2 for the Celtics here. But yeah, it seems to be just like the Celtics. I think they may have they had a chance to win those. They had a chance to win last game a couple of different times, and you're right. And may have got screwed there at the end of regulation. I think they come out and use that as motivation. The Clippers I might look at early tomorrow. We'll see how it feels. We'll see how this line movement looks like overnight. And I'm sure we'll talk about these 2 games in length tomorrow.
Got you. One last question for you, Junior. Did Kemba Walker get fouled on the last possession?
Honestly, bro, there was contact. So if they called it, would I have been pissed? No, not really. But on the very next possession, when they threw a lob to OG Anunoby and he got fouled trying to dunk, can someone explain to me why he wouldn't get 2 shots when he's trying to dunk an alley-oop? That's pretty weird, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, it was on the pass. I thought that they was gonna give them free throws right there too. I didn't know that they needed a foul to give, but the NBA pretty much didn't want to come out and admit that the announcer said it a few times. You see both guys foul him. That's the only thing I'm saying. But honestly, I'll tell you guys, I'm kind of glad that it happened. I'll be honest with you guys. We'll be back tomorrow.
The refs wanted Game 7 just as much as us.
No, we'll be back tomorrow. You better believe it. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't get it twisted. We'll be back. We appreciate all you guys for watching. Make sure you gotta go to SBR Picks /NBA. Check out all the articles that we have over there. Hit the like button and subscribe if you like the content, and come back and check with us tomorrow, man. As soon as after the show tomorrow, I'm running to the sports book, baby. Let's get some cash. Appreciate y'all for watching Jam with J Money.